refilling my cup with coffee. I tumbled down another endless series of rabbit holes. Popped out on a pathway leading to the back door of the house Jesus lived. Which begs the question, what house did Jesus live in? Now the words that follow portray my cup as it was for decades. Later, I'll describe my cup as it is now. Explain the changes we went through. My cup is as tall as it is round. A white porcelain cylinder, neither tapered nor bulbous, with a centimeter-wide band of periwinkle blue on the inside of the rim, just down the inside. Or should that shade of blue be called powder or peacock? 50 years ago, that cup was not mine, but one among many in a massive set serving a Main Street manse where a family lived together, even as they were splitting apart. In those times, when the winds of change blew strong, the woman of the house gathered artists and hippies and musicians and poets and preachers and dropouts and grifters. We swirled in her wake, singing and dancing our ways through those halcyon nights and days. Back then, when we thought the world was about to change for the better, forever. Our world changed, only as it has forever. Only in the details and the fashion cycles and whose name is in the same headlines. Otherwise, sunset to sunrise, everything is as it always has been. What the Bible says still is news. Papa may have, Mama may have, but God bless the child that's got her own. Time often twists when you fall down a rabbit hole. Popping back up again, I find my thoughts 3 or 4 back, taking another swig of tepid coffee from my cup, an accidental inheritance from those days when my then new bride and I lived in a carriage house out back. Back then, this cup was held by many hands, Quakers on their way to the Capitol Mall to protest another war. Nervous gay thespians, rockabilly icons, Greenwich Village legends, each induced to perform for the inmates in the prison where the priestly Berrigan brothers were doing time for their crime, plotting to arrest Henry Kissinger for his crimes against humanity. Looking up from my cup, all around my house, in room after room, 6,000 things I call mine. Objects of paper and stone, tools dolls and toys, each imbued with meanings drawn from my mind, connecting them all. Pieces of my past, present, and maybe future. Details from the tales that tell the story of my life. Little Cup, the band Blue, speaks to me of Molly and Henry, Terry and Mark and Don and Harry and Ronnie, of mad marathon drives in a Volvo wagon from Connecticut to Freeport, Maine, to shop L.L. Bean's old warehouse in the middle of the night before driving back to the manse again, for the sheer mad joy of doing it on a whim. Had the car stop on the way north, dropping me off in Worcester to spend time with the woman who became my wife before I hitchhiked back alone. But wait, you cry. What does any of this rabbit hole rambling about a coffee cup or an old hippie's memories have to do with Jesus or his house or even the cup as it is now? Okay, let me try to explain the connections in my brain. I've drunk coffee from that cup for 50 years. Each time I do, it might trigger a myriad of memories, just as any of the flotsam from my life, all the stuff stuffed in boxes in the basement or sitting on a shelf might do. So, my cup triggered a memory of way back when, and then I wondered, what becomes of the memories and lives of those from whom circumstance has stripped everything? Where there is no stuff, no place for stuff, except what can be worn, carried while you walk. How do those with no things keep alive their memories of the lives they've lived? Pondering that, first I thought of those dear anonymous souls, unhoused with nothing, save perhaps a tiny pocket talisman or faded photograph, to link them to their pasts. Then it struck me. Who else had no things to speak of, no known house or home? Jesus. Jesus and all those like him. The monks, pilgrims, holy prophets, with nothing but their beggar bowls and dusty robes. Those with the sacred power, living their lives in the moment, in the eternal now. So, this little cup, tying me to the many me's I've been, never to be again, led me to re-see those in donated clothes, those without house, those with no rooms where there might be room for that box of toy cars, each one a gift from Santa Claus, or any of these other, to me, priceless treasures, worth nothing on the open market, which, should my luck run cold, would need to be sold or lost to oblivion for want of a place to keep them. What if I chose to see those whose luck ran out, not as pathetic failures or warnings, but as wandering monks? See them as Buddha, as Jesus, as sacred prophets, alive, teaching me to be thankful in the moment teaching me to let go, if and when I must, of all my stuff, teaching me to be grateful for the life I've lived. Hopefully one still full of future moments living in the now, teaching me to be. Of course, now is impossible to capture forever. It's always past by the time we say a word. However long ago it may have been when these words were written or revised, as I'm doing now, before their next seen or heard. I knocked my cup from the counter as I went to fill it. After the news reached me, my cup and I both shattered by the news. Roy is gone. Picking up the broken fragments of this otherwise insignificant object, so imbued with meaning, I took the artist's way, rejoining them with epoxy, gold dust, and twilight glitter. Now I'll always see echoes of Roy and his art. Feel the fierce beauty of grief and loss in the glittering seams of my Kintsugi Cup.